Okay, you can see here we're putting the tufts of grass in. They just came this morning, and there's all the little grass. And we're going to try and make it look natural up there at the top, at the edge of the water, and try to blend all that in to the mud, you know, the bottom of the river channel here. So there we go. Talk to you soon. Okay, I'm going to start mixing my first pour here for the resin. I got the scenery where I want it. I'm going to pour just, I'm going to take their suggestion and pour just a ½ inch or more on the diorama, because it says there'll be different problems if you don't use ½ inch at a time. So we're going to do just a ½ inch, and we'll still have plenty of places to put the fish when they arrive. These tufts of grass are all over the place. They're kind of cool looking. I kind of look like moss on the trees. But we're going to prepare the first pour and add color to the pour, and I'll let you know how it goes. Thank you. Okay. In a well-ventilated area, we've mixed equal portions of the hardener and the resin itself, the epoxy resin. So we've got in there about enough to put a ½ inch on the bottom of this diorama right here. So now I'm going to add the color. Of course, you use gloves to keep anything from touching your skin. Fumes aren't so bad. I do have the fan on. I do have a well-ventilated area with the windows open. So this might go easier than I thought. So now I'm going to take these popsicle sticks and I'm going to mix it really good for 5 minutes. But first I'm going to add a little bit of the color. Hopefully I won't add too much color. So let's take a look at that in a sec. Okay, tiny little bit of color added, and we're going to start mixing here. I can't film it all, but that color is pretty powerful. They said to be sparing with the color. So let me get to mixing this, and I'll show you the results after 5 minutes of mixing it. Thank you. Okay, I can see here with my first batch that I used a tiny bit too much pigment. It's only going to be a ½ inch layer, so you can see here it does have a transparency that I like, but I don't like the metallic flakes that are inside of it. So I'm going to use significantly less pigment in the next couple of pours. So I've been mixing it for 5 minutes, so let's see how this goes. I'll pour it in. Okay. And of course you're wearing rubber gloves while you do this. So let's see how we go here. I'll try not to get any bubbles in there. Yeah, a little too much of the pigment in there. But we'll fill this in there. Let me get back to this and squeegee out the plastic. Thank you. Okay, this looks a little dirtier than I wanted it to do, but I'm going to follow their instructions and go ahead and use a lighter to burn off some of these bubbles. See how that goes. I gotta get in there with the lighter, but you get the idea. Yeah, so let me get to that and get rid of some of these bubbles. There's a lot in there, and I'll show you what it looks after. Thank you. Okay, that worked out very well. You can see I got rid of most of the bubbles that were on the surface. A little blowing helps too. But here you go, the first layer. And once those bubbles settle, I'll get rid of some of those bubbles. But you can see I'm trying to keep the surface clean like glass here. So there you go. And we'll see how this pour turns out. And then we'll do the next pour. Thank you guys and have a nice night. Okay, here we go. It's looking good. Every now and then you gotta take a straw like this and blow the bubbles out of the way. So, get rid of the bubbles. There you go. See? Get rid of all those bubbles. Looking good. Alright, I'll talk to you in the next